Imagine orchestrating a flawless, cinematic marriage proposal, only to have the entire event derailed by a completely avoidable mistake on a restaurant waitstaff schedule. Meet Mark. For weeks, he's been hyping up his coworkers, guaranteeing that his upcoming proposal is going to be perfect. He bought tickets to a major concert, planned it all around a specific song, and made sure everyone in the break room knew his timeline. This calendar shows how that plan collided with reality. Mark entirely forgot to request the night off, accidentally booking himself for a shift on the exact Saturday night of the concert. With the show only a few days out, Mark is completely boxed in by his own poor calendar management. Mark's months of planning now sit on a direct collision course with a mandatory Saturday night shift. The realization sends Mark into a frantic, sweaty campaign. He spends his breaks scrolling through the roster, begging anyone to take his shift at the last minute. The immediate answers are now. One is flying out of town, another has unbreakable weekend plans. It's also incredibly difficult to trade away a Saturday night restaurant shift. It's the most stressful, high-volume block of the week, and nobody volunteers for it lightly. Having burned through the coworkers who have socially acceptable excuses, Mark realizes he is down to exactly one target. Enter the narrator of our story. She technically has the day off, but she's coming off a heavy, emotionally draining week of personal matters and desperately needs a day to rest. Mark corners her and pleads for the swap, framing the request as a desperate romantic rescue mission that only she can facilitate. Her response is a flat denial. She simply tells him she can't cover it because she doesn't want to. Mark escalates. He demands to know exactly what her plans are, actively trying to weigh the importance of his proposal against her need to sit on the couch. She refuses to justify her boundaries. She holds her ground, making it perfectly clear she doesn't owe him an itinerary for her own time off. Mark assumes the emotional weight of his event entitles him to her free time. She asserts that her days off are not subject to his approval. The standoff ends, and Mark loses. His girlfriend prepares for the concert, while Mark is stuck slaving away on the floor for his Saturday shift. The minute his shift ends, he clocks out in a panic and sprints to his car, rushing across town to the venue. He runs through the doors right as the band strikes the final chord of their big closing song. The exact moment he spent weeks hyping up is gone. Left with no other options, Mark drops to one knee later that night in the bleak, poorly lit expanse of an asphalt parking lot. The cinematic fantasy he promised everyone dissolves into a depressing formality, entirely because of his own actions. When Mark returns to work the following week, his attitude toward his coworker has visibly iced over. He begins making loud, passive-aggressive remarks in the break room, complaining to the rest of the staff that his big night wasn't special anymore. Then he points the finger directly at her, explicitly accusing her of ruining the most important night of his life. This leaves her questioning her own actions. Does protecting her peace make her the villain? Or is she simply refusing to absorb the impact of someone else's poor planning? This diagram illustrates the imbalance driving the dispute. When exactly does one person's total lack of preparation magically become another person's moral obligation? So weigh in down below. Was she right to hold her boundary and keep her weekend off?